So now you got our VCM all built up, so let's calibrate it. We're gonna calibrate the waves and we're also gonna do some pitch calibration. So welcome back. If you are here, you have now a Tom Yum VCO all built up, and you'll let it wait it while turned on for around 20-30 minutes. This is just so we can get a nice stabilization on the sound output. So let's get into it. We're gonna start by calibrating the waves, the sine wave and the triangle wave. I'm gonna show you how to do it. Then we're gonna do the volt per octave as well, which is just here at front. So let's start with the sine wave. I'm just gonna connect the sine wave here to the oscilloscope. As you can see, it has a weird shape now, right? So we're just gonna pick up the module a little bit, take it out of the box for a little bit. Remember those trimmers that we soldered before? We're gonna use them to calibrate that wave. Okay? Be very gentle here. These pots are very sensitive and you can break them quite easily. And we're just gonna do small, gentle turns until we get the wave that we like. Okay? So let's start with the first one. First one is the shape. Let's see what we can do here. Gets a little bit more square or roundish. Let's see the second one. Okay. You have to be really patient when you're calibrating these waves. Okay, now that we have our sine wave, we're gonna calibrate the triangle wave. Just gonna change the switch here at front to output the triangle. But luckily, it's quite there already. I'm just gonna check it a little bit. This is the last trimmer, the trimmer to the right. We're just gonna do simple, small touches till you get the wave that you're comfortable with. There we go. So we have the triangle and the sine wave. Now we're gonna look into the pitch calibration. Just gonna mount back the model back on so you can take a look at the volt per octave calibration. So now I think we're ready to continue with the pitch calibration. Just gonna put on the square wave because it's easier to do so. Calibration, I'm just going to use this tuner, but you can use any kind of tuner, obviously. So I'm going to start, first of all, I'm going to connect the keyboard that can give me octaves interval directly, so I can actually measure this properly. I'm going to fine-tune manually the oscillator to C3. There we go. All right. And now I'm gonna send an octave above C3. I'm gonna send a C4 and see how far are we from being stable. Actually, not that far. Okay, but if we want to make it a little bit more, maybe let's try an upper octave. All right. This should be a C5, it's a B4. So we're comparing C4, should be C5. So, this is a little bit counterintuitive, the way that volt per octave works, meaning if you want a higher note, you trim down. If you want a lower note, you trim up. So we want a C5 here, correct? Because the C4 we were sending before, going up on an octave, this should be C5, which is higher, right? So we need to lower actually the trim here on the front of the panel a little bit. Now let's see with the C4 where we are. So now we manually tune it a little bit again. And let's take a look at C5. It's far away, right? We need to drop this down. We need to lower the pitch. Okay, let's go to 4. Manually tune it, the oscillator again to C4. And now we're gonna send again C5. They're still far. We need to lower the pitch. So let's lower the pitch. I usually do like a half a turn at a time. So it's okay. Let's go to C4 again. Manually tune it again. And let's now send the C5 again. Oh, it's starting to appear, right? But we need to lower the pitch again a little bit. Another half turn. Gonna send the C4 again. Manually tune the C4. Just a little bit. Gonna send the C5 again. See, we're getting closer. Just need to lower it down a little bit more. Counterintuitive, right? But it's actually, once you get to it, it makes sense. So manually tuning C4 again. Maybe I went too much this time. Let's see. I'm gonna send the C5. Ah, it's actually quite okay. C4, C5, C6. No, C6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 2 is a little bit lower. Let's see. Now here is when it enters your own, you know, your own personal desire. Analog oscillators will always drift. You can get, with this one, you can get really stable around 4 or 5 octaves. It depends, you know, if you want it really perfect in the middle, if you want a perfect oscillator, this won't be the oscillator for you, right? It's still musicable, playable within 5 octaves, I can guarantee you that. But depends, if you play more on the lows, maybe you want to fine-tune those 4 or 5 octaves on the low. If you play more on the high, you do the reverse, or you can always tune it anytime that you want it. You can always calibrate it a little bit. I know this is the life of analog oscillators, but you know, it's good and bad. It's bad that it requires calibration. It's good because it gives you that special sound that we love. Go back to C3. Turn it down a little bit. C3, C4, 5, 6. Oof, I don't like that high sound. See? So let's just end with a sequence from the sequencer that I'm using here, down here, just to see if it sounds musical or not. Let's see. Sounding quite musical to me. Yeah, so that's it. Now you have your model calibrated. If you want even more perfection, feel free to keep playing with the little volt per octave calibration here. And now you can see the next videos, like sound demos that I can do, sound patches, examples with the oscillator, and have fun with it. Ciao!